Imagine a boy from a tiny, impoverished island, sleeping in a room with a tin roof that leaked when it rained, who would eventually build a global empire and score more goals than any other human being in the history of the sport. He did not possess the natural, effortless genius of his greatest rival. Instead, he forged his greatness in the fires of absolute, obsessive, and sometimes painful hard work. He turned his body into a flawless machine, and his mind into an impenetrable fortress of self-belief, conquering every league he entered and shattering records that were once thought to be completely unbreakable. This is the story of a man who looked at the absolute limits of human athletic potential and decided to simply walk past them, redefining what it means to be a professional athlete in the modern era. The genesis of this unprecedented athletic phenomenon began on the small, volcanic Portuguese island of Madeira. Born in the winter of 1985 into a deeply impoverished, working-class family, his early environment was far removed from the glamorous world of elite sports. His father, a municipal gardener who struggled with severe alcohol addiction, and his mother, a cook who worked tirelessly to keep the family afloat, instilled in him a profound understanding of hardship. The family lived in a modest house with a corrugated tin roof, and money was always desperately scarce. Despite the financial struggles, his passion for football was absolute. He would play in the streets until his feet bled, eventually joining the local club Madeira, where his father worked as the kit man. His raw talent was undeniable, but his emotional volatility and fierce competitiveness often put him at odds with coaches and teammates. Recognizing his immense potential, his family made the agonizing decision to send him to the mainland to join the youth academy of Sporting Clube de Portugal at the age of 12. This transition was a profound psychological shock. Far from home, he was bullied for his thick island accent and his emotional fragility. He would frequently cry himself to sleep, sneaking out at night to call his mother. Yet, this brutal isolation forged an impenetrable mental armor. He channeled his homesickness and anger into an obsessive training regimen, vowing to become so undeniably good that the world would have no choice but to respect him. Just as his career began to accelerate, a devastating medical crisis threatened to end it before it truly started. At the age of 15, he was diagnosed with a racing heart condition, a tachycardia that could have forced him to abandon football entirely. The club arranged for a laser surgery to cauterize the problematic area of his heart. The procedure was successful, but the recovery required immense discipline. He was back to training just days later, a testament to the accelerated healing and relentless drive that would define his entire career. His progression through the sporting youth ranks was meteoric. He became the first player to represent the club at the under-16, under-17, under-15, and senior levels all within a single season. His explosive pace, his dizzying step-overs, and his sheer audacity on the ball caught the attention of the European footballing elite. The defining moment arrived during a pre-season friendly in 2003, where his teenage brilliance completely dismantled the defense of Manchester United. The opposing players begged their manager to sign the kid, and Sir Alex Ferguson, recognizing a generational talent, immediately secured his transfer. Arriving in Manchester at 18, he was handed the legendary number 7 shirt, previously worn by club icons. The transition to the English Premier League was brutal. The defenders were larger, the tackles were heavier, and the pace was relentless. Initially, he was criticized for being overly flamboyant, holding onto the ball too long, and lacking physical strength. However, his response to criticism was not to retreat, but to evolve. He spent countless hours in the gym, transforming his lean, wiry frame into a sculpted, muscular physique capable of absorbing heavy tackles and exploding into space. Under the meticulous guidance of his manager, he transitioned from a tricky, unpredictable winger into a lethal, goal-scoring machine. His work ethic became legendary. He was often the first to arrive at the training ground and the last to leave, practicing his free kicks and finishing long after the floodlights were turned off. This relentless dedication culminated in the 2007 to 2008 season, a campaign of absolute individual brilliance. He scored 42 goals, led Manchester United to the Premier League title, and captained them to victory in the UEFA Champions League. His extraordinary achievements earned him his first Ballon d'Or, officially crowning him the best player on the planet and setting the stage for the most expensive transfer in the history of the sport. In the summer of 2009, he moved to Real Madrid for a then world record fee, stepping into a pressure cooker of unprecedented magnitude. The expectations were astronomical, and the shadow of his great rival, Lionel Messi, loomed large over the footballing world. What followed was a decade of pure, unadulterated dominance. He completely redefined the role of the modern forward. Recognizing that his explosive pace would naturally diminish with age, he intelligently adapted his game, transitioning from a wide winger to a central, predatory striker. He perfected his positioning, his heading ability, and his finishing with both feet, becoming the ultimate complete goalscorer. His rivalry with Messi pushed both athletes to heights never before seen in the history of the game. He scored over 450 goals for the Madrid club, winning 4 more Champions League titles, including an unprecedented 3 consecutive victories. He claimed 4 more Ballon d'Or awards, cementing his status as a living legend. His physical conditioning during this period was a masterclass in sports science. He employed cryotherapy chambers, maintained a strict, highly controlled diet, and prioritized sleep with the obsession of a monk, ensuring his body could recover and perform at an elite level well into his 30s. At the age of 33, when most elite forwards are contemplating retirement or a move to a less demanding league, he shocked the world by transferring to Juventus in Italy. The move was a deliberate challenge to prove he could conquer yet another top footballing culture. In Serie A, known for its tactical rigidity and defensive discipline, he adapted once again. He won 2 consecutive league titles, becoming the fastest player to reach 100 goals in the club's history. His performances in the Champions League, particularly his breathtaking bicycle kick against his former club, and his hat-trick to eliminate Atletico Madrid, proved that his magic was far from extinguished. His subsequent return to Manchester United was driven by a deep emotional connection to the club and its fans, though it was marked by the turbulent decline of the team's overall performance. Despite the team's struggles, his individual output remained remarkably high, showcasing his enduring quality and his refusal to accept mediocrity. The next seismic shift in his career occurred when he moved to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. While many critics dismissed the move as a purely financial endeavor, it fundamentally altered the global football landscape. His arrival brought unprecedented attention, investment, and star power to the Middle East, paving the way for a massive influx of global talent to the region. He continued to score at an astonishing rate, proving that his goal-scoring instincts and physical prowess remained world-class. Beyond his on-pitch exploits, his cultural and commercial impact is staggering. He built the CR7 brand into a global empire encompassing hotels, gyms, apparel, and fragrances. He became the most followed individual on social media, wielding a digital influence that rivals entire media conglomerates. He understood early on that a modern athlete must be a multifaceted brand, and he executed this vision with ruthless efficiency. While his club career is decorated with unprecedented silverware, his journey with the Portuguese national team is perhaps his most emotional and deeply personal triumph. For years, he carried the heavy expectations of a nation that had never won a major international trophy. He faced intense criticism from his own countrymen during his early years, but he responded by becoming the all-time leading goalscorer in the history of international football. The crowning achievement arrived at the 2016 European Championship. Despite suffering a severe knee injury in the final minutes of the championship match, he refused to leave the stadium. He paced the technical area, acting as an unofficial coach, motivating his teammates, and willing them to victory. When the final whistle blew, his tears of joy resonated with millions. He later led them to the inaugural UEFA Nations League title, securing his legacy as the greatest player in the history of Portuguese football. The true secret to his unparalleled longevity and success lies in his psychological makeup. He possesses an insatiable, almost terrifying hunger for validation and perfection. He is driven by a deep-seated need to prove his doubters wrong, a mindset forged in the poverty of Madeira and the isolation of his early teenage years. He does not just want to win, he wants to dominate, to be unequivocally recognized as the absolute best. This extreme self-belief borders on arrogance to his critics, but to his supporters, it is the ultimate manifestation of a champion's mindset. He has sacrificed a normal life, enduring strict diets, grueling training sessions, and the constant, suffocating glare of the global media, all in pursuit of athletic immortality. The legacy of this extraordinary athlete extends far beyond the staggering statistical records he has accumulated. He redefined the physical and mental parameters of what a professional footballer can achieve. He proved that while natural talent is a gift, true greatness is a choice, a daily, grueling commitment to excellence. From the leaking tin roofs of Funchal to the glittering trophy cabinets of Madrid, Turin, and Manchester, his journey is the ultimate monument to the power of human will. He did not just play the beautiful game, he conquered it through sheer, unrelenting force of character, leaving behind a blueprint for success that will inspire and intimidate generations of athletes to come. His name is permanently etched into the pantheon of sporting gods, a relentless architect of his own immortality.